name's Lorraine Mellows and I'm a victim of domestic abuse.
When did it first start?
I was 14 years old when it first started. I met him when I was 8 years old, but got in a relationship with him when I was 14. And soon after that, I got a black eye, got very controlling with his moods, and my mum obviously started to notice things. I was changing dramatically.
How old was your partner at the time?
He was 17.
So there was an age difference of about 3 years?
Yeah, near on 3 years, yeah.
So when your mum noticed the black eye, like you said, you started putting on more makeup. Was that to hide all the marks you were getting?
Yes, yeah, protecting him.
And did anybody else notice these marks? Did you speak to anybody else?
Yeah, my friends knew.
What did they say to you about it?
They would just said, you need to break up, you need to get rid of him all the time.
So why didn't you actually, at the time, thinking back, leave him?
I was too in control. He'd got me, it's like coercive control. He'd got me so bad. He used to threaten to leave me, and the threat was enough. I would beg him not to leave me.
How long after the first black eye you received did the physical abuse happen again?
Oh, probably about 2 weeks.
Did alarm bells not ring at that point?
No, they really didn't. It was just the way it was. I just thought men would, to be honest, behave like that.
When you met him, 2 weeks later, you ended up with a black eye. You then decided to carry on.
Yeah.
And stay with him. How soon was it before you actually went to live with him?
I was 16 years old when I went to live with him. And God, I just thought it was bad then. It was horrendous. It was hell. I woke up one day and I couldn't read, couldn't write. Everything had gone. Couldn't write my name, nothing. And I'm like, I didn't know whether I had a brain tumour. I didn't know what was going on at this point. And I learned at Blue Door it was called dyslexic trauma. So yeah, and it literally, so what happens is the brain will boot everything else out because you've got to survive. And your survival becomes more important than reading, writing or anything else it can take out, it will. But I wouldn't say I was close to my mum, to be honest. I was close to my nan, but not really to my mum as such. No, my mum worked full time and I didn't see a lot of my mum, to be honest.
And what did your nan think about the things that were going on? Did she know?
Yeah, my nan knew. My nan hated him.
And how did that make you feel, knowing that she hated him?
It was awful. It was awful because my nan did affect me. Whereas my mum, I didn't have much, but my nan really did affect me. The fact she didn't like him, she did her utmost for me to leave.
So looking back, from your nan's point of view, she probably saw you suffer a lot.
She did, yeah. She did, yeah.
Nearly lost your son. How did your ex-husband treat you after that?
He was terrible. He just left. He went to work. He just left me. I was bleeding. Started to lose blood. And my friend had to take me to the doctors and help me. And she stayed with me, bless her. And yeah, he didn't even contact me all day. He didn't even speak about it when he got back. He would punch me, spat at me, headbutted me. Mental torture all the time, useless. Nobody will want you now, I've done that to you. Yeah, all the time. You're fit for nothing. Yeah, constantly. Constantly. My friend was deep in it, and unfortunately we both found out that our husbands were sleeping together.
Your husbands?
Yeah, both our husbands were sleeping together.
So in all this time you was with him, your mental state of mind, how was that affected in total?
It was terrible. It was, you can't believe you can be so unhappy, so scared of everything, and you're still waking up in the morning. You just don't want to wake up. You just want to die. You don't want to go on. You don't want to. That would be the best thing that could happen to you, is that you didn't wake up, because you're so low and you're so scared of everything. But not no more. Not no more, but like I said, a lot of care, a lot of counselling, a lot of support for you to come out and find out who you are. So yeah, I think at that point in my life, I wanted to die. I'd got on really depression now. He told me he thought he was gay, and yeah, I think I'd got to just couldn't even bear to wake up. Everything was such a mess. I was so down. It's undescribable how far down I was by that point. Yeah.
And you had one child at the time?
I had one child.
What's the worst thing that you can remember about your ex-husband?
So the worst thing I can remember is it was when it came out about he was abused himself by his father, and I obviously didn't know anything about it. I was fuming because me and my son had been to his parents' house, and yeah, and I was bothered that he touched my son. His father had touched my son, be clear, yeah. And I one night I said he would have a habit of just disappearing when I asked him what was going on, and this night he just started shouting, "Shut up." Well, normally I would, but this night I wasn't. I wanted some answers, so he just came back down the stairs and started thumping my head, saying, "Shut up, shut up," screaming, "Shut up." Anyway, so I crawled to the settee and protected my head. So I grabbed a pillow to protect my head, and he just started to kick my spine so severely. I was in and out of consciousness. All I remember is my son saying, "What are you doing to my nice mummy?" He kicked me again, and he said, "Now you've woke your fucking son up." So that's all I remember really. And in the process, I'd trying to clean the glass, and he'd squeeze my hand, so I didn't know whether I had a finger end. I'd just saw a lot of blood. Like I said that morning, I hardly remember anything because I was in and out of consciousness. I do remember him taking me to hospital in the morning, just watching the blood, just trying to get a shower and just watching the blood draining down the plug hole, just running down the plug hole. And my friend saying, because I asked my friend to come and look after my son while I went to hospital, and my friend saying that he'd done this, and I just said, "Leave it, please." It was horrific, and now damage for life. This is for life. He's done my lumbar spine, and I've just since had to, it progressively got worse, so I was going to be paralysed from my neck down, and I got a phone call from Hull Royal about 3 months ago that I'd got to go in because I was going to be paralysed from my neck down. I've had to have a serious operation on my neck. They've had to go in my neck and put me a metal cage in my throat, and then I've had my spine removed, and that's metal as well. So lost a lot of use in my legs and things. So, but yeah. I got professional help from Blue Door, and they, to be honest, are the only people that help me. And I'll be honest with you, I think with my friends included, my beautiful friends, my wonderful friends, I'm alive today because of them and because of my counsellor. She was amazing. So yeah, and they were absolutely brilliant. Lots of courses and things with Blue Door, yeah.
So you've been 5 years separated now, and the divorce, has that been finalised?
I potentially now could lose my house. I'm still fighting. Yeah, so I'm still fighting with the divorce.
So even though you're separated, are the problems still there with how he can affect you still?
Yes, in a degree, obviously, because I want it all over. I want him away and done, yeah. If I've got to appear in court, yeah, it affects me dreadfully. I'm petrified. But not on an everyday. He doesn't control my mind anymore at all. Yeah, so yeah.
Has he ever said sorry to you?
Never. Never said sorry. Never said sorry. They never say sorry. No. He has said once, because he beat me so bad, that's why I help you feed the cats. And that's all he did do. I did everything. Yeah.
If you was to give him some advice, what advice could you give him, your ex-husband?
Go and get some help. And stop destroying people's lives. and I know he's got another partner now, and I have actually done Clare's law. I've asked the police to go around and quote Clare's law, so they have to tell his new partner everything. I mean, she's not listened, but I've done that for me to make sure that my conscience are clear. You know, she's probably as abused as I was by this point, or I don't know, but.
So if she is getting abused, like he abused yourself, she'll understand how you feel.
She will, yeah. And everybody does that gets abused, yeah. They'll be able to relate to, and this is why I wanted to do this today, to help other people, just to say get help, you know, and yeah, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It's a hard road. I won't try and say it isn't. It is, but you can do it. Yeah. If anybody can relate to the video I've done, I will leave an email in the description. If you need help, please contact me.